Who am I? I am a designer, coordinator, brand practitioner, thinker, pizza lover, assistant realist, and organizer. You can call me whatever you want. But what I'm doing currently in life is I've just finished MA graphic branding and identity course in London. And previously, I finished the BA on Polish Japanese University as well. So I will show you a couple of my works to show you what I'm doing. So this is the visual identity for my course. I was trying to connect the process of learning with the process of change as a designer. So the dots are designers and the pluses are the process of learning. I've also designed the identity for a typography studio on the Polish Japanese University with Agnieszka. So I don't know if it's still in use, but I hope it is.
It's not. It's not because we were moved to another studio.
But
okay.
I was still at the bachelor diploma, so it's still.
So that's really nice. I've also designed this year the fluid visual identity for radio audition that expressed the different genres of music. And this is my MA project. My MA project was about expectations and misinformation and the connection between them. So I was trying to educate people about healthy information consumption and good behaviors in the topic. So here you can see my report, and underneath it you can see the rooms in the experience that I've designed that express the brand. So here you have another screen, another like visuals from this MA, and the interactive experience when you can touch the dots and decide which information is false and which is not. The project was playing with the format of a museum itself, and the rooms, there were 4 rooms in the experience. And every of the room was a metaphor of different aspect of the topic of misinformation and expectations. So here is the visual identity for the project. It was called Red Cube. And here you can see some elements of graphic expression of the brand. So a leaflet that is in a 3D format as a cube, and then the alternative poster in a urban space. I also designed a couple of posters in my life. Some of them are crazy, some of them are less crazy. The first one is for the project Type Unite. That was, I think, 3 years ago already, or 2. The second one is a poster that won the competition in India, the Typo Day India, and the topic was experimental typography. This is the poster that was exhibited in the United States for the Fictiones Typographica contest. Let's say contest, it was an exhibition. And I did it during my BA in Agnieszka studio. And these are the posters from this year. So the large one on the left is a poster representing Katarzyna Kobra on the exhibition called Mothers of Polish Independence. So I used her colors and geometric style and let's say experimental typography. The yellow poster was chosen by Nuance Paper in Poland as a stay-at-home creative poster. On the bottom, 2 blue posters were exhibited in a couple of towns in Poland, but as well, I think in China. I don't know if it's still in China or not. Agnieszka, you can tell more. But basically, it was for and against international poster competition. And the one with the white dove. A white dove is Paloma, by the way, in Spanish. And it's about limited freedom, and it's connected to the limited laws that
possibilities.
Yeah. This is the project that I did last year, and it was 36 days of type. You probably know this project, so I tried every day to design a letter in different style. And in my free time, I'm engaged in a little bit of like social activities. So this is a mentoring program that I'm organizing with STGU, which is Association of Polish Graphic Designers. And it's for young designers especially. So if you want to apply in the next edition, I encourage you to do so. Yeah, and that's all from me, I think. Now we can present you with the topic of the workshop, and Agnieszka can share her screen.
I just want to give you some references and maybe some ideas regarding the topic. Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Agnieszka. I believe that some of you already know me, but for some, today's meeting is the first one. I will screen a short presentation that have been divided into 3 sections. The first one will be something like general info. The second one will be close to our topic, and the final one will be exactly on the point of our topic, which is closeness. I would like to start with introducing myself by my recent poster action, or actually a poster I designed for this action. Some time ago, I was asked to design a poster under the topic of hope. As probably you know, hope is difficult to depict in graphic design, as closeness is. It cannot be seen, but it only can be felt. That's why I decided to use an eye icon in which I wrote the word hope. Here you can see it. This refers a little bit to a search of hope, but also to the fact that hope can be found in our eyes. The exhibition, what is funny there, the exhibition is in public space and is happening now in Virginia, the USA. It is addressed to the hope in a general sense, as well as a hope related to a political change that are happening in the USA now. I would like to give you also a short intro about myself. At the beginning, I would like to introduce some of my works. I am a designer, an art curator, and educator. On the screen, I show my website where you can find some of my designs. What I am interested the most is communication and the question how we can improve it. Many people complain, especially now, and maybe even suffer, that in pandemic there is a lack of communication. But take a look at this photo. I took it a few years ago on the central station in Warsaw. Some people say that we can divide times into 2 eras, new and old one. I am showing some photos from the old era. The photos shows the workshops, which is exactly the same activity that we have today. But this is, let's say, a picture from a class. Probably everybody is familiar with this. And some pictures from diploma defenses. It looks that closeness in society does not exist currently. On the other hand, I discovered many new opportunities. Probably you also felt that they exist. You can go anywhere in person, but you can arrange all meetings differently. I will show you in a second 2 meetings we have organized with Taiwan and Iran during the pandemic. Take a look. So we went with almost 80 people to Uruguay, now Iran. So I can say that we explored the whole world with my students. Pandemic and workshops sound strange, right? What is funny there, I led many workshops during pandemic. This is just an example to introduce you to the how it looks like. This is a screening from my screen from the workshops I led with 50 people from China.
明确你就无需再用文字啊去多加说明，因为这样的话显得比较。
I also led the workshops under the theme of hero. Here are some results. What is funny there again, we not only carried out the workshop, but we also managed to organize a real one exhibition in art gallery in Szczecin. Here you can see the photo from the exhibition. I will go back to pandemic for a moment. I know that everybody feels enough about it, but please take a look at my investigation. There have been many exhibitions under the pandemic around the world, all saying one thing, COVID is bad. That we already know, but none showing how to fight with the pandemic. I couldn't even find a simple instruction how to prevent an infection. And I asked myself, why? I would like to move to the topic of our workshop. If you let me, I will present this part by means of 3 basic questions that you always should ask yourself when starting a new work. Why, how, and what? Why? The question seems to be obvious, but I will show you some memories. First general and then more specific. Now please take a deep breath and relax. I've seen it 1,000 times, and this movie always moved me. I don't know how is your feelings about it. Now I will move to the more specific story about North, titled "That's Why I Feel So Strange."
I think part of why this is so hard is because of who we are. This city, these small towns, this whole region, northern BC, our foundation is how we come together. And being at a distance is at odds with everything we know. And I know that might seem strange because this region is so massive, but when you look past the geography of it, it is community that is at our core. Living here means going out in the -40 to get to work. It means running into 3 people you know at the grocery store, and it means pulling over to push a complete stranger out of the snow. It means the North has always known how to come together, and I think that's why it feels so strange. And I wish I could tell you that this gets easier, but I don't know that it will. But maybe if we don't think about it as doing it alone, but instead we think about it as something we're doing together, our community coming together.
The how question is more difficult one. It requires your decision. Before you make it, I would like to remind you two, in my opinion, very important points. The first one is Manifesto by Ken Garland. Probably you are familiar. Please tell me, do you remember this manifesto? Is someone familiar with this? If not, I would like to remind you that Garland put this manifesto in the 60s, asking designers, what is our mission in the world? The question exactly was, is our, designers' role just advertise something, or do we contribute to important ideas? This is the manifesto itself. Please think about it when you will design your work. You can also design a manifesto, of course. To illustrate this, please take a look at these 2 examples of the design. Both of them are excellent. Do you know the authors? Paloma, do you know the authors of these pieces?
I know the author of the left one. I don't remember the name, but I know his works and I've seen them all around the world.
Yeah, both are very famous. The left one.
Isn't it Jeff Koons?
Yeah, exactly. He's a person who produces many decorative things, extremely expensive. The second one is a map by Massimo Vinelli, so probably you know the designer. But let's think, how would you rate the usefulness of these works today? Do we need to store some decorative things, or we need to communicate with society? As a Gerland Manifesto, I would like to remind you some important manifestos in design. You will see them collected in one video.
If you could say something.
Different example of closeness is provided by Gestalt theories. It is proximity. Probably you know it. If not, with this theory, please remember that our perception tells us that if we group elements close together, the viewer will believe that this is close relation between them. And finally, the most difficult question, what? I will give you some examples or references to the word closeness. The first one is a quite hard one, so you can just close your eyes. This is another reference, very simple and connected with the present I gave to my daughter recently. That was microscope. This is ready-made example. Do you know this action? This was,
Yes.
yeah.
Is it The Artist is Present? Was the title, or?
The Artist is Present, exactly. It was in 2010 in MoMA by famous artist Marina Abramovich. But look how simple is this action and complicated at the same time. She just engaged with her public by one-to-one, just connected through pure eye contact. And look how the results was. That people were crying. And this is, I believe, very nice example from the recent workshop I led. That was a topic, social action, and one lady told me about a mirror that she took with herself on a riot she participated. How strange story, I thought, and at the same time I realized how important in our lives mirror is. The lady decided to use this mirror in her social campaign. She hangs this mirror somewhere in Warsaw and asks people basically very simple question: who do you see? And you can see the answers she got. This is the campaign. And very last reference is isolation. And some designs about it. Thank you very much. If you will need a contact, or you will need some more references, just contact me. Here I show you all contacts to myself. And we will move to Paloma again. Paloma will introduce you with the brief.